According to UNICEF, India is the country with the highest number of people defecating in the open in the world, about 620 million people, mostly in rural areas. The reason is that this country does not have enough quality toilets for the entire population. This situation increases the risk of spreading diseases, greatly affecting health, as well as the social situation, when many Indian women and children are often vulnerable to sexual assault because they have to wait until dark to relieve themselves. In 2024, the world faces some shocking realities, and one of the most disturbing is the state of sanitation in certain countries. Imagine walking through a street and witnessing scenes that would leave you speechless: women forced to defecate openly due to the lack of basic infrastructure. It's a harsh reality in some of the dirtiest countries in the world, with India ranking 5th on this troubling list. I remember my first encounter with this issue during a trip that forever changed my perspective on global inequalities. Today we'll dive into the 15 dirtiest countries and uncover important lessons that can be applied to our everyday lives. If you're ready to learn and make a difference, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Indonesia. Indonesia is among the world's most polluted countries, with PM2.5 levels around 37 micrograms per cubic meter. Jakarta, the bustling capital, suffers from pervasive pollution, where the sky often appears gray rather than blue. The smell of gasoline and factory smoke lingers, and masks are a daily necessity. Air pollution claims approximately 232,000 lives annually in Indonesia, with 6,400 deaths from water pollution, 16,300 from workplace pollutants, and 32,800 from lead exposure. Additionally, Indonesia is rapidly losing its forests, with nearly 40% of its green cover gone in less than 50 years. The government aims to address these issues by increasing the number of electric vehicles and halting new coal-fired power plants by 2023, targeting net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Despite these efforts, 10 coal-fired plants still operate near Jakarta, continuing to pollute the air. Can Indonesia reverse these environmental crises, or are the measures too little, too late? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Qatar. Qatar, though one of the richest countries per capita, also faces severe pollution, with a PM2.5 index of 37.6. The country's rapid population growth and surge in construction projects contribute to pollution, exacerbated by a bustling aviation sector. The 2022 FIFA World Cup highlighted these issues, with Qatar Airways alone operating around 60 flights daily between Doha and Dubai, and air travel accounting for nearly 52% of the total emissions for the event. Qatar has committed to reducing emissions by 25% by 2030 and has made strides such as connecting a solar power plant to the national grid and developing a modern metro system. These actions show Qatar's journey towards a greener future, but can it achieve long-term sustainability? Bahrain. Bahrain, with a population of over 1.3 million, struggles with severe pollution, especially in its energy sector, which relies heavily on fossil fuels. In 2018, PM2.5 levels averaged a staggering 60 micrograms per cubic meter, 6 times the WHO's safe limit. Although efforts to reduce pollution initially brought levels down, they spiked again in 2022 before settling around 39 micrograms per cubic meter in 2023. Bahrain's challenge is balancing its economic ambitions with environmental sustainability. China. China faces a tougher battle against pollution due to its massive population and industrial activity. Despite improvements, the country still contends with significant environmental challenges. The effort to curb pollution is ongoing, with both technological advancements and policy changes being implemented. Addressing air pollution is a complex and urgent issue for many countries. While some are making significant strides, the road to cleaner air and healthier environments remains challenging. What do you think? Can these countries overcome their pollution crises, or are their efforts insufficient? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this critical global issue. But before we dive into it, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making the show even better for you. Do we have a deal? Over the past decade, China has made notable strides in improving its environment. However, the situation took a concerning turn in 2023, with air pollution levels worsening across many regions. Recent data reveals that the average concentration of PM2.5 particles has risen to 32.5 micrograms per cubic meter, a stark increase from previous years. This is over 6 times higher than the level recommended by the United Nations, putting China among the top 20 most polluted regions in the world. As the world's second-largest economy, China's rapid industrial growth has come at a steep environmental cost. The air quality in many Chinese cities now exposes children to pollution levels equivalent to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes each day. China's capital, Beijing, along with other major cities, remains shrouded in dense smog, particularly during the winter months. As of 2024, China holds the dubious distinction of being the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases, despite the government's commitment to peaking carbon emissions between 2026 and 2030 and achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. The recent surge in approved coal-fired power plants threatens to derail these targets. In fact, China is the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases, surpassing the United States in total carbon dioxide emissions. India's. In some of India's most populated cities, the air is among the most polluted in the world. To give you a sense of the scale, in 2023, the level of PM2.5 was measured at 54.4 micrograms per cubic meter. This is nearly 11 times higher than what the World Health Organization considers safe. Breathing this kind of air day in and day out isn't just uncomfortable, it's deadly. In fact, air pollution is now one of the leading causes of premature death in India, cutting short the lives of about 2 million people every single year. According to UNICEF, India is the country with the highest number of people defecating in the open in the world, about 620 million people, mostly in rural areas. The reason is that this country does not have enough quality toilets for the entire population. This situation increases the risk of spreading diseases, greatly affecting health, as well as the social situation, when many Indian women and children are often vulnerable to sexual assault because they have to wait until dark to relieve themselves. One of the lesser-known yet significant contributors to this crisis is the widespread use of biomass fuels like wood and agricultural waste for cooking and heating. Every year, the country burns the equivalent of 148.5 million tons of biomass for household energy, minus 10 times more than what's used in the United States. And this isn't just a rural issue. Even in cities, many households rely on these inefficient stoves, which emit far more smoke and harmful pollutants than modern alternatives. The situation could get even worse. India is planning to increase its coal-fired power production by 50% between 2018 and 2030. If these plants go ahead, they could cause an additional 844,000 premature deaths by pumping even more pollutants into the air. But it's not just industry and household energy that's to blame. Traffic congestion in India's bustling cities also plays a huge role. You can picture this: when vehicles crawl through traffic at speeds between 20 and 40 km per hour, they emit twice as much pollution compared to when they're moving smoothly at 55 to 70 km per hour. Unfortunately, in many parts of India, the average speed on the road doesn't even reach 20 km per hour, leading to emission levels that are 4 to 8 times higher than they would be with free-flowing traffic. Pakistan. What do you think? How would you feel about living in a place with such dangerous air quality? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Just across the way in Pakistan, a very similar, if not even more severe, battle is being fought against the relentless assault of air pollution, particularly in the heart of its cities. In the year 2024, the PM2.5 level, which measures harmful fine particulate matter, skyrocketed to a staggering 73.7. This isn't just a number, it's a warning sign. Lahore's air pollution has reached a critical level, with the average PM2.5 concentration in the city reaching 99.5 micrograms per cubic meter. But Lahore isn't the only city grappling with this suffocating smog. Major urban centers like Faisalabad, Rawalpindi, Karachi, and even the capital, Islamabad, are choking under the weight of severe pollution. Islamabad, in fact, ranks among the top 10 most polluted capitals on the planet. According to the most recent statistics from 2024, air pollution claims the lives of nearly 128,000 Pakistanis every single year. But it doesn't stop in the air. Water pollution is also wreaking havoc, with contaminated water sources fueling deadly outbreaks of diseases like cholera and typhoid. This pollution storm is fueled by several factors, including the burning of crops, industrial emissions, and vehicle exhaust. And when winter arrives, the situation becomes even more unbearable as dust and smog blanket the cities, further degrading the already poor air quality. The health impacts are profound, ranging from respiratory problems to cardiovascular diseases and even cancer. In Pakistan, women are disproportionately affected by air and water pollution due to their traditional roles in the household, including cooking, cleaning, and caring for the sick. Pregnant women exposed to high levels of air pollution are at a higher risk of complications, including preterm births and low birth weight babies. The burden of caring for family members who fall ill due to pollution also falls largely on women, adding to their already heavy responsibilities. UAE. When you think of the United Arab Emirates, what comes to mind? Probably visions of glimmering skyscrapers, luxury cars, and high-end shopping experiences, right? But beneath this shimmering exterior, there's a growing issue that could threaten the lives of millions: air pollution. As of 2024, the situation has become more dire than ever. The air quality in the UAE has plummeted, with PM2.5 levels soaring to 43 micrograms per cubic meter, far above the safety threshold recommended by the World Health Organization. This alarming statistic translates to nearly 1,900 deaths every year, many of whom are outdoor migrant workers toiling under the hot desert sun. So what is the main cause of the severe air pollution in the UAE? The answer lies in the UAE's deep dependence on fossil fuels. Despite its futuristic skyline, the UAE remains one of the world's top oil producers. The extraction and burning of these fossil fuels pump a staggering amount of harmful emissions into the air. What makes this situation even more troubling is the apparent contradiction in the UAE government's policies. While the nation has made high-profile commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improve air quality, the continued expansion of fossil fuel extraction raises serious doubts. Is the UAE truly committed to transitioning to a green economy, or are these pledges merely for show? But there's more to this story. In a country where women have made significant strides, particularly in education and the workforce, they now face a new threat. Studies have shown that air pollution disproportionately affects women, particularly those who are pregnant or have pre-existing health conditions. This not only jeopardizes their health but also the health of future generations. What do you think about the UAE's efforts to combat air pollution? Do you believe they're truly committed to change, or is it all just a facade? And what about the impact on women? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and can't wait to hear your perspectives. Egyptian. In the heart of Egyptian, air pollution is casting a dark shadow over the health and well-being of millions. The Egyptian Ministry of Health has sounded the alarm, revealing that the national average for fine particulate matter, or PM2.5, has climbed to an alarming 42.4 micrograms per cubic meter. Every year, up to 2 million Egyptians are forced to seek medical attention for respiratory diseases directly linked to this pervasive air pollution. The toll doesn't stop at health. In 2019, air pollution was responsible for the premature deaths of approximately 9,559 Egyptians. The World Bank estimates that in the Greater Cairo area alone, a whopping $1.5 billion, yes, that's nearly 47.7 billion Egyptian pounds, was spent on healthcare costs related to air pollution during just 1 year, from 2016 to 2017. When you look at the entire nation, the cost skyrocketed to over 100 billion Egyptian pounds by 2018. Egypt is not turning a blind eye to this crisis. The government is making strides to combat air pollution through measures like regulating industrial emissions and promoting the use of clean fuel vehicles. But here's the catch: these efforts are far from enough. A World Bank report from 2013 highlighted that Egypt's policies on air pollution control are fragmented, lacking the cohesive strategy needed for real impact. Take, for instance, the management of green spaces. While trees and greenery are essential for filtering air and combating climate change, Egypt is paradoxically cutting down vast numbers of trees, often driven by government-led infrastructure projects. Road expansions and canal constructions aimed at improving infrastructure are ironically contributing to deforestation, directly undermining the country's climate adaptation goals. Iraq. According to the most recent data available in 2024, Iraq is among the most polluted countries in the world, ranking just behind Chad. The country's air quality has been alarming, with the PM2.5 index reaching 80 in 2022, which is 16 times higher than the global standard. While there was some improvement in 2023, with the index dropping to 43.8, this level is still dangerously high, over 8 times the recommended limit. The oil industry, which contributes nearly 95% of Iraq's foreign exchange earnings, is both a blessing and a curse. It drives the nation's economy but also exacts a heavy toll on its environment and the health of its people. During oil extraction, excess methane is often burned off, releasing a cocktail of harmful gases like benzene and methane into the atmosphere. These pollutants don't just stay near the oil fields, they travel across the Middle East, spreading their toxic impact far and wide. Wars and prolonged conflicts have further exacerbated the environmental situation. From 2014 to 2017, military operations left behind vast amounts of waste and hazardous chemicals, polluting Iraq's soil, water, and air. These pollutants have devastating effects on the health of Iraq's population, leading to an increased incidence of cancer, cardiovascular diseases, and respiratory illnesses. In response to these environmental challenges, the Iraqi government launched an ambitious program in 2023 to plant 5 million trees across the nation. However, experts warn that tree planting alone is not enough. The average concentration of harmful PM2.5 particles in the air is nearly 80 micrograms per cubic meter, minus 15 times higher than the World Health Organization's acceptable level. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is in a life-or-death battle against air pollution, with the air quality reaching some of the most dangerous levels in the world. The culprits: rampant industrial emissions, exhaust from vehicles, and the widespread use of traditional brick kilns, which are notorious for spewing toxic pollutants into the air. But why is this happening? A big part of the problem is the lack of strict environmental regulations and enforcement. It's not just the air that's suffering, so are the people. According to a report from the World Bank, air pollution, along with water pollution, inadequate sanitation, and exposure to lead, has led to an estimated 272,000 lives cut short by something that could be prevented, and more than 5 billion days of illness annually, affecting everyone, from the youngest children to the elderly. Breathing the air in Bangladesh could shorten your life by almost 7 years. That's more than what smoking or even malnutrition can do. While Bangladesh's economy is booming, with per capita income rising rapidly, the environment is paying a heavy price. Kathmandu. The city of Kathmandu, Nepal, once a serene cradle of ancient culture and spirituality, now finds itself shrouded in a thick veil of dust and pollution. Kathmandu's air pollution, with PM2.5 levels soaring above 42 micrograms per cubic meter, is alarming. But what's causing this dramatic transformation? The geography of the Kathmandu Valley, a natural bowl surrounded by majestic mountains, creates a unique but troubling scenario. This bowl-like valley traps pollutants, turning the area into a cauldron of toxic air where circulation is severely limited. It's like living in a city with a lid on top, where every breath draws in the same trapped, polluted air. The situation is further aggravated by rapid urbanization. Kathmandu has evolved from a tranquil city into a bustling metropolis, with its population density surging in recent years. The number of vehicles on Kathmandu's roads has exploded, with traffic jams becoming the new norm. But the chaos doesn't stop there. Kathmandu is also in the throes of an infrastructure boom. New buildings and roads are springing up everywhere, but with this progress comes a cost. The city has become a sprawling construction site, with dust clouds billowing from excavated roads and brick kilns belching out smoke. Tajikistan. Tucked away in the heart of Central Asia, Tajikistan is often celebrated for its awe-inspiring natural wonders. But beneath this stunning landscape lies a growing environmental crisis that's impossible to ignore. As of 2024, the air quality in Tajikistan has reached critical levels. The PM2.5 concentration has soared to nearly 50 micrograms per cubic meter. To put this into perspective, breathing in this air daily is like smoking multiple cigarettes each day, even if you've never touched a pack in your life. Over the past decade, the number of cars on the roads has exploded, but many of these vehicles are outdated and lack modern emission controls. As a result, Tajikistan now emits over 540,000 tons of pollutants annually from traffic alone, a stark rise from the 340,000 tons recorded just 10 years ago. Tajikistan, a country blessed with abundant water resources, relies heavily on hydroelectric power. However, when the dry season hits and river levels drop, the country is forced to rely on thermal power plants to keep the lights on. The Dambi 2 power plant, the largest in the nation, burns up to 6,000 tons of coal every day to meet energy demands. While this plant provides 60% of Dambi's electricity, it also spews out a staggering amount of pollutants into the air. And then there's the heavy industry. The Dambi cement plant is a prime example. This factory alone churns out 180,000 tons of cement each year, consuming 72,000 tons of coal in the process. But what's more alarming is the government's plan to construct another cement plant right next door. This expansion is poised to double the harmful emissions, exacerbating an already dire situation. But if you think Tajikistan's environmental challenges are alarming, just across the border in Kyrgyzstan, a similar yet even more catastrophic scenario is unfolding. Imagine waking up every morning in Bishkek, the capital of Kyrgyzstan, where the air you breathe is not just unhealthy but dangerously polluted. In 2022, Bishkek was ranked as the second most polluted city in the world. By 2023, the situation only worsened, with air quality monitors revealing that Bishkek had become the most polluted city globally, with a PM2.5 level reaching over 33 micrograms per cubic meter. The United Nations Environment Programme urgently called on Kyrgyzstan to transition from coal to cleaner, more energy-efficient alternatives. However, despite these warnings, not much has changed. Today, nearly 70% of households in Bishkek still rely on raw coal to heat their homes during the harsh winter months. With temperatures often plummeting well below freezing, some residents have resorted to burning old tires or even scraps of fabric just to stay warm. This desperate measure only adds to the already critical levels of air pollution. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, known for its vast mineral wealth, also grapples with alarmingly poor air quality. The current PM2.5 levels are at over 40 micrograms per cubic meter, which is 8 times higher than what's considered safe. This staggering figure is largely due to the widespread use of biomass fuels like firewood and charcoal for everyday cooking. A 2016 World Health Organization report estimated that over 60,000 people in the Congo have lost their lives prematurely due to indoor air pollution. Agricultural runoff, industrial waste, and mining activities have contaminated both surface and groundwater. This pollution not only endangers lives but also devastates the country's rich biodiversity and stifles economic growth. But it doesn't end there. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is also suffering from severe deforestation and soil erosion, which worsen water pollution by increasing sedimentation in rivers and lakes. These conditions create the perfect breeding grounds for mosquitoes, escalating the risk of malaria, a disease that experts predict could triple in cases by the middle of this century. Faced with these urgent environmental challenges, the Congolese government introduced the Environmental Protection Law back in 2011. But with the scars of prolonged conflict still fresh, enforcing these laws remains a monumental task. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, the Congo needs an estimated $200 million to tackle these environmental crises and steer the nation towards sustainable development. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, nestled in the heart of West Africa, may not be the first destination that comes to mind, but its environmental challenges are staggering enough to grab anyone's attention. As of 2024, the concentration of PM2.5 reached a shocking 46.6 micrograms per cubic meter. Over the last 10 years, Ouagadougou's population has surged from just under 2 million to over 3.4 million people, a growth of 81%. This population boom has put immense pressure on the city's infrastructure, much of which has struggled to keep pace with the demands of its growing urban population. Today, a staggering 80% of households still use wood and charcoal for cooking. These traditional cooking methods may seem simple, but they release large amounts of harmful gases into the air, turning everyday tasks into significant contributors to air pollution. Adding to the problem is the city's aging fleet of vehicles. The average car or motorcycle on Ouagadougou's streets is 14 years old. Even more concerning, 3/4 of these vehicles are outdated models, belching out pollutants that darken the city's skies. This heavy reliance on old, inefficient vehicles not only chokes the air but also reflects broader issues of economic challenges and limited access to newer, cleaner technology. Urban sprawl in Ouagadougou has also taken a toll. The city's rapid, unplanned expansion has led to the growth of informal settlements where paved roads are a luxury. During the dry season, dust from these unpaved roads gets whipped up by the harmattan winds blowing in from the Sahara Desert, creating an eerie, dusty haze that hangs over the city. Respiratory infections have become the leading cause of death in Burkina Faso, responsible for up to 20% of all deaths. The poorest citizens, often forced to live in the most polluted neighborhoods near industrial areas or heavy traffic, are hit the hardest. Switzerland. Around the world, many countries stand out for their relentless efforts to protect the environment and maintain a green, clean, and sustainable way of life. These nations not only ensure clean air and water quality but also focus on developing renewable energy systems, minimizing the human impact on nature. Leading the list is Switzerland, a country known for its ideal living conditions, advanced public transportation, and a robust renewable energy network that helps reduce environmental pollution. Following closely is Finland, where vast forests and high air quality standards make it a dream destination for nature lovers. Sweden serves as a model of sustainable development, widely utilizing renewable energy while employing advanced waste management measures. In Norway, not only is the environment pristine, but its vast natural reserves are protected rigorously, offering a lifestyle deeply connected to nature. Iceland is one of the least polluted countries in the world, thanks to its extensive use of geothermal energy from the Earth's core, significantly reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Denmark, with its pioneering role in wind energy and effective environmental protection policies, has become an example for many other nations. Likewise, New Zealand is not only famous for its breathtaking natural landscapes, but also admired for its environmental conservation and superior environmental quality. Canada and Australia, with their vast expanses of land, open living spaces, and low population density, consistently maintain clean air and unspoiled natural environments. Both countries have strict policies to protect natural resources, providing high-quality living conditions for their residents. Estonia. Austria ranks among the top European countries in terms of waste management systems, ensuring efficient recycling and minimizing waste. Estonia, a small but resource-rich country, has proven its ability to protect the environment and develop sustainably through the use of advanced and sensible measures in preserving natural resources. Singapore, despite being one of the most modern and densely populated cities, has built an extremely effective environmental management system, with large green spaces, clean water sources, and strict environmental protection policies. Slovenia, with its stunning natural landscapes and clean living environment, is a prime example of how humans can live in harmony with nature. Luxembourg, though a small nation, has a strong commitment to environmental protection, applying strict measures to maintain a clean and sustainable living environment. Portugal. Lastly, Portugal, a country located in southwestern Europe, has emerged as a symbol of sustainable development, continuously expanding renewable energy projects and enforcing stringent environmental protection policies. These countries have demonstrated that environmental protection is not just a responsibility, but a way to enhance the quality of life for every individual. They not only keep their nations clean and beautiful, but also create a sustainable future for the next generation, becoming a powerful source of inspiration for the world in the fight against climate change. The images we've seen today are a stark reminder of the immense challenges faced by millions around the world. Open defecation isn't just an issue of sanitation, it's about dignity, health, and basic human rights. While India's ranking at 5th is alarming, it's crucial to remember that this is a global problem demanding global solutions. We must continue to raise awareness, advocate for change, and support organizations working tirelessly to improve sanitation infrastructure and promote behavioral change. Remember, every share, like, and subscription helps amplify this message and brings us closer to a world where everyone has access to safe and dignified sanitation. Let's not turn away from these difficult realities. Let's be part of the solution. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more content that matters. Together, we can make a difference. Top countries leading the way in cleanliness and environmental sustainability. Around the world, several countries are recognized as exemplary in maintaining cleanliness and protecting the environment, thanks to strict policies, advanced waste management systems, and a highly conscious community. Switzerland is one of the most prominent names when it comes to cleanliness and sustainable development. Not only does the country have strict regulations regarding waste sorting and disposal, but its citizens are also highly aware of their environmental impact, contributing to a remarkably clean living environment. Following Switzerland is Finland, known for its pristine landscapes and rigorous environmental policies. The country's commitment to protecting its natural resources and maintaining high air quality standards makes it a top contender in environmental sustainability. Sweden, with its focus on renewable energy and efficient waste management systems, is another leading example. The nation's efforts in reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable practices are widely recognized. In Norway, environmental preservation is deeply ingrained in the culture, supported by policies that protect natural reserves and reduce pollution. Iceland is also noteworthy for its minimal pollution levels, largely due to its reliance on geothermal energy and renewable resources. Denmark's advancements in wind energy and comprehensive environmental protection measures place it high on the list of clean and green nations. New Zealand, renowned for its natural beauty and conservation efforts, maintains an impressive record of environmental quality. Canada and Australia, with their expansive natural landscapes and low population densities, effectively manage pollution and sustain clean environments. Both countries enforce strict environmental regulations, ensuring a high standard of living. Estonia, Austria, Singapore, Slovenia, and Luxembourg also excel in environmental sustainability, each contributing uniquely to maintaining clean and healthy living conditions through innovative waste management and conservation practices. Portugal stands out for its significant strides in renewable energy and environmental policies, making it a model of sustainable development in southwestern Europe. As we've explored the 15 dirtiest countries in the world in 2024, it's clear that many challenges remain in improving sanitation and public health. Countries like India, ranked 5th, face ongoing issues such as open defecation, which disproportionately affects women and their safety. These harsh realities underscore the importance of proper sanitation infrastructure and increased awareness to protect communities and improve the quality of life for millions. Addressing these problems requires a collective effort, from government policies to individual responsibility. It's vital that we continue to advocate for change, pushing for cleaner environments and better living conditions worldwide. If you found this video informative and eye-opening, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps spread awareness about these crucial global issues and encourages meaningful conversations on how we can make a difference. Stay tuned for more important updates and insights.